Boy, am I a little bit disappointed about all this stuff because of so much lies that I see circulate on the internet. And then this president is a true cretin.
President Obama, they took a lot of territory. Under
What a
Biden,
loser. Truly, what a loser. Maybe he's asked himself why I have so little, no respect for this shit. But because of a lot of issues. Let me explain to you why.
essentially took the whole thing. You know, it's just a question of time. Under Trump, you know what they took? Nothing. I was the one that said.
So there is a news here. The Express UK release how the Trump is gonna meet Vladimir Putin inside of the Russia. We did not get up to here yet. A little earlier there was in Spanish they say chevre news. I am gonna use the paint. I did a little bit printout of this news. It helps for the dry season. There you go. Ahead of Trump Putin meeting, European leader brace for the worst case scenario. And what else do we have here? Trump is bringing in enough revenue from the tariffs to have a serious impact on the $37 trillion national debt budget. $37 trillion national debt budget. Already when you read this news here, you already know what United States of America is. And I explained one so good on my blog. In fact, when I stated that the world will be even worse off with American liberation of Ukraine than what it was, that's when Donald Trump came out with this news here. It was released on August 11, 2025. Trump makes a huge blunder as he announces he's going to Russia to meet Putin. They say Putin, not Putin, but Putin. Putin. Boop. Trump meeting Putin in Russia. Nothing. Blah, 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 blah. White House land on blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Why are you so afraid to put the news that Trump was going to meet Putin inside of the Russia? It says Alaska right there. So, what's happening? Why is this news all of a sudden gone? And why did Donald Trump pick so quickly on my news here and responded that he's gonna meet Putin in Russia if I will say and blah blah if I will say? First of all, I can say whatever the fuck I want. That's number one thing. Second of all, war in Ukraine has nothing to do with me. A Russian invasion on Ukraine has absolutely nothing to do with me. Zero. I was threatened by American officials, even military staff generals. What it will be, I shall be if I will talk about all that stuff that we talked about. What exactly the fuck have we talked about? What exactly have we talked about? I don't remember us talking about anything. There was no us, there only was you, scum. There was no us. All the answers I needed, I have provided them here on the blog. That's all the answers that I needed. I have them on the blog. Donald Trump did not like this one here. He absolutely did not like this one here. Donald Trump was absolutely not impressed with his little blog I published. He didn't like any of this stuff, man. I started to pick sick stuff from the internet because I'm not going to even go why. So this was in distance 2020. Just something I started basically because I saw that the whole thing is just, it was so insanely helpless, the whole thing, that is unprecedented. All the answers I needed, I got all the answers answered. You should never do to the person the stuff you did to me. You should never do the stuff like this. I got all the answers answered. Everything I got answered. Oh yeah, I have to action this stuff here. I'm gonna make a separate post about that stuff. Absolutely. All the answers that I needed pertaining to United States of America. I got all the answers answered. I would need you for one thing. I would need you to get the answers answered. And I was working on this case for so long that absolutely everything became clear. Totally clear. About this kind of stuff, about the making a world record in staying awake, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. I held it for about three grades of the grammar school, the world record about staying awake. This is what they made out of the torture. I don't need any more answers. We did discuss the Vietnam. To me personally, nothing is more disgusting than Vietnamese, I should say, Vietnam veterans, not Vietnamese. Vietnamese are okay. I'm fine with Vietnamese. But I'm repulsed with the United States of America. I don't see it. You want to threaten me with this stuff. You want to start to remind me, like you do all along, this news here that I see here. This one here. This. Hold on a moment. This news here. This shit was actually intended for me. They talk about how much they're going to dedicate for me if they owe me anything and so on. No, you don't owe me anything. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about who owes whom what. There's plenty of time left for that. Your plan have fallen short. It looks like I'm going to live way longer than what you supposed is going to be the case. And it was very hard. But my health actually started to pick up again. That plan of Bill Gates, the Yugoslav, the Slovenian, the Russian, malnutritioning, that kind of stuff, that's not going to work, I think. I think so. We have plenty of time to discuss about who owes what and how much. First of all, let me pay you a debt, because there never was us. You Americans were in the game for yourself. There never was any us. If you don't understand, watch my video, especially the one about Vietnam. About British royals, maybe. The way that stuff went. Oh, I did not even save that stuff. There is absolutely no questions left. I don't have any kind of question left in respect to America or Britain. There is no questions left here for me. Everything is answered. I did this blog not to excellence, but exceeded absolutely everything pertaining to the blog, absolutely everything pertaining to what they believe could come out of it. I don't have any kind of questions in respect to this blog. There absolutely never ever was us and me. Actually us. Yourself and myself. Us. You clearly were in it for yourself. And you clearly are in it for yourself. And there is no hope for humanity as such. Unfortunately, with Ukraine on American side, on the side of the NATO, the world is not going to be nothing better off. It's going to get worse, because the terms that this scum here set in respect to the future of Ukraine, actually they are horrendous. There's a lot of bad stuff happening across the Britain, a lot of bad stuff happening across the United States, and I can only imagine what another piece of land that will contribute to American economy, that will contribute to the NATO, to European Union economy, will contribute, not going to say in sense of poverty, but exploitation, slavery, modern day slavery to the Western world. Ukraine, this is just extremely, extremely exploited soul, wounded terribly. Horrific. Beyond horrific, the whole thing. What, because of this, what you see right there in front of you, was done to Ukraine, so that he could give you a speech of the century and pay for all those portraits he practiced during MK Ultra, because this is obviously such an important stuff that he had to do. This is just a job that he has as a monarchs, that royals has as a monarchs. Actually, royals have as a monarchs. He has it as a monarch. That it appears Ukraine just had to be fucked all the way up. And we have identical issue with this Babalu here from the United States of America.
You can't build your pipeline that was half built. I came in, I stopped the pipeline. It's called Nord Stream 2. Nobody knows that, you know? Nobody ever heard of Nord Stream.
This is the line dog that I had not seen anything like this. I had no idea it existed. No fucking idea. This was involved also in MK Ultra, this stuff here. You know, folks, I am not a Kash Patel, and I am not Donald Trump. I am not coming from the same background. Let me see that video how Patel saved Donald Trump. That's the one I like. Let me see that video about Kash Patel saving Donald Trump's presidency. There you go. All this shit was involved in MKUltra. All this stuff they pre-planned, plan ahead, and that's what they are brainwashing, I should say massaging the world with. You know, Americans and world, you're two different issues. I ain't gonna be referring to you anymore as they are doing this to you because you guys know all too well about this kind of stuff. He's gonna tell you how better America is doing crime-wise when compared to the year earlier and so on and so forth. And he does this in front of Donald Trump.
15 million Americans. 115 million Americans. Cops are getting after it. The FBI has arrested 19,000 people this year alone. Thanks to President Trump's administrations, that's double than where we were this time last year. And we have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against...
Look at the face he's doing. Look at that fuck. What he is doing facially, what he is doing. Schizophrenic. During MKUltra, he had me next to him and he stated to me, I don't know, you should listen more about my new FBI director. And he had Kash Patel rehearsing this shit with their journalists and so on. That's United States of America. And it's time to work for world to pick the note, to take the note about this stuff. And also you gotta ask yourself, if they're doing so much better this year, what exactly went on with Joe Biden last year? And I told you that there is no difference between the Biden, or there is, I mean, I am not aware of it, and Donald Trump. It's time to take a note about this stuff. I'm not Donald Trump. I'm not a con artist from Buckingham Palace. I'm a real person. Knowingly you scum about what you have done. You understood that over course of time it's going to become clear to me about who you are. This was not against Ukraine. I supported Ukraine. But I supported Ukrainian independence. I supported you, or I should say Ukrainian independence through you. But I realized lately that supporting Ukrainian independence through you equals to exactly the same issue as it pertains to my case. Based on what I see, Ukraine paid tremendous price not for its independence, but for the shit like this. So they look at it really good. Look at this stuff, schizophrenic stuff, faker than fake.
Children, 270 of them.
Look at this. I'm not even saying if I don't care what he looks like, if that will be true. But based on what I described, this must be the fakest and the fuckliest person that I know forever in the history of the world. By the way, I did disclose to you about what his great speech is going to be about. I don't even know nothing about the speech. Where the hell is the speech? They're supposed to have a speech. Oh, he's taking a break. He's taking vacation at Balmoral. He is running a garbage that he was buying some kind of journalists that have no connection to journalism, literally con artists to publish, as he stated, fake news, fake media. They like to criticize and even censor legitimate people like myself. Basically thrown everything in a same trash bin. This man is a king of the fake media, of the trash garbage news spread throughout the internet. Knowingly so, and from Facebook, knowingly so from the social platforms, so they can do stuff also to other people. While he's claiming that he is a victim of injustice. And he goes the same thing to Prince Harry. He was coming in our house, doing meetings with the people like this, to do the shoddy deals. This is a shit boss all the way. Look, it's like this, to put it plain and simple, because I really do not owe United States of America any kind of explanation about any of this stuff. Donald Trump had me meet deep state people who supposedly are in charge for him. Every here and then, over the course of the years, and was asked a question, or maybe he was doing this shit by himself, but every here and there he would stop at all kinds of CIA people, deep state people that were involved in MK Ultra. And he would be answering the questions to them. They would be asking him about the Ukraine, etc., Ukraine, and he always would give the answer on pledge to his commitment of liberating Ukraine in front of me. That's one of the things he was doing. That much about this kind of stuff here. When you're gonna, you propose this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna say to you today in this video what exactly the meeting on Alaska is gonna be about. Actually, I already have, right? You do understand English, and you do understand that if he was repeating to me over the course of the years his commitment to liberation of Ukraine, that I'm certain that you do understand. Well, who the fuck knows, maybe now there won't be even a meeting between Putin and between Donald Trump. Maybe there won't be a meeting now. I don't know what's gonna happen. This shit is fucking hilarious. If you Google the news about the Ukraine, this stuff is rather laughable. This is rather laughable. They have a boss over there that is committed to liberation of Ukraine. All through the Russian troops continue to break forward. They go forward. But that really doesn't matter, because as long as he hang in there, the liberation is going to come, right? So in a way, what they're doing is basically they're like purging people that are good people, like myself, that doubt about the whole thing. They make not only human sanity doubt, but they damage Ukraine alone. It's some kind of military tactic they're using, which is not really the truth because of the issues which I stated you earlier. That is the issue right here. This is this issue here. He was the one who craved to be recognized as a King Charles Almighty, Or through there was already media news about William instead going to into Ukraine to liberate Ukraine, and also William speculating. They talk about speculations. There was some, I don't know if it was here, speculation. Let me see here. What fucking speculations are you talking about? The only one who was doing speculations, for obvious reasons, so this here is the speculation. This is a speculator. People who do this kind of stuff are people that are missing the screws in the head. This is not for the people with the right state of mind. People in the right state of mind don't fucking do stuff like this. People in the right state of mind are straight. They know what their dues are. They know what their priorities are. Talking to you Americans who went ahead and you voted for continuation of something that you started a few months of my age. Normal people know about responsibilities, solving issues, not doing this kind of stuff. Stuff that I described so well today on my blog. So excellent I described this stuff here on my blog. I did this stuff, I think, under the Palestinian recognition here, maybe, is it? I acknowledge it as a total satanism. Right here, I think in the last paragraph, I think it is. I talk about the slavery. Talking about trade techniques from greater than Great Britain as to from where United States of America evolved out of. Talking about making poor even more poor. Talking about questioning every well-being of every human being in this world and making problems and trading with the problems. That's what the fuck we are talking about. That is the stuff that we're talking about, and this is what I want the world to recognize United States of America for. You already know the British, but you need to start to acknowledge what United States of America is, because with the liberation of Ukraine, and you can see that based on my case, the world is not going to be any better off. There'll be fat cats. You'll have those portraits hanging from the walls. They'll load themselves with even more money. And fame. In everything that grandeur, spirit, con artist, Lucifer, Satan, hallucinates about is going to accomplish through the lie, kill, steal techniques. And that's all the fuck there is to it. As for the workers, for the people, for everything is going to be even worse. Because whatever you're not going to get, whatever they're not going to get in America and in Britain, they're going to get through in Ukraine. They're going to be using Ukrainian people to example you with what can be done with your lives if you don't want, etc., etc. You're going to see. Because these people are experts at one thing, and that's basically exploiting human poverty, exploiting human crisis. And there is no crisis, and there is no poverty deep enough that this scum here that you see could not have ability, interest in exploiting one even further. Trading it with the enemies from behind to make it even worse. More, better for them, more just, etc., etc. This is the ultimate scum that the world have ever seen. And they are now in charge. And I want to say that it is us, when in fact is no such thing as us. There is no such thing as us. And there never was such thing as us. That's all I wanted to clarify in this video. for me personally, that he is making a tough fool out of himself over there on the media. It's going to become clear. He will portray himself as an excellent, as an excellent, strategist. But this is a fucking crazy clown that I supposed to see myself in, including those big cats behind him and all kinds of circus. Who actually believe they have answer for me? And I just as I said it, I don't have any kind of questions left. This is why this video. I don't have anything else I would add to this video. We're just gonna wait for this one to announce a big news about Ukraine. Blah, 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 blah. And, of course, we'll see a big man of a big actions. Presumably with clean diapers, giving you a big news about how it shall be and what it will be and so on and so forth. That is going to the 4th year of war in Ukraine. They suffered enormously with this man here who wants you also to doubt him. This is hilarious, this stuff here. He is determined to fight and defend all the way to the end. And he only has few more days, all based on MK Ultra. He knows this shit. Scumbag knows this stuff. You don't know it, but he knows it. And that's his job, basically, is to fuck a decent people up. So this is already, before this war even started, this was not about the Ukraine. This was about hunting people, good people all over the world, like myself, pushing them down in the mud. So it would be more lift for them. And that's all there is to it. The news, the Alaska news, will be no news. And you're never going to see the rabbit inside of the Russia, inside of the Moscow, because he's too damn fucking afraid of going to Moscow, to the Russia. And he is too damn afraid to go to Moscow, to Russia, because of the issues that I stated in this very video. That's all there is to it. The same people, the same stuff that was involved in MK Ultra, you get to see throughout the mainstream media. At least for me, folks, this looks as stupid, as dumb, as disgusting as anything possibly can look. They refer to me as some kind of a nonsense fuck whose job is basically to, I don't know, relentlessly attack the stuff I have spoken about this video. And I did so. And really, who the hell knows how things would go if I wouldn't. Because, you know, this people is easy come, easy go, whichever way wind blows. These people don't make no fucking effort. These people see people like myself as mentally ill people. And mental illness is defined right here. Yeah, also here. And the best I defined mental illness was through this post here. This is what defines your mental illness here. This stuff here. That's what this is. This is one side is some are normal and some are not normal. So I think that the world is heading for the worst for even worse that the case was, is nothing good really is coming out of this. And it's not their fault. That's the best part about it. It's you people that you go vote before solving something that should never even take place. And it's this kind of conscience that is driving the world into abyss. That's all I want to say about the trip. Donald Trump is trip to Moscow. He's tripping. He's tripping, all right. He's tripping a lot. But I'm tired of being silent about all that stuff, about the stuff that went on. I did not disclose everything that went on. I kept much of it silent. But at this point in time, eventually I have it enough. And before this tipping point of the war, as to what they refer to as, Zelensky was extremely, extremely excited. That's the way it's supposed to be based on MK Ultra. I'm going to flip the sides and step away, also from American side. One more time, I'm flipping the sides. In my defense. Enough is enough. That's all I want to say for this video. Better to have it this way. Better to have it everything on the track like this. With what you do is you take like this nice date and time, and what you do is you wish them bon voyage in Alaska, just like this. You got a date, time, place. Look, the Melania is, I don't know, 25 kilometers from here, something like that. Melania.